So for those of you who are new to the film industry, and I mean completely new, like one of those Comic-Con boxed up collections you never really open, ever, I'm going to go through the 5 phases involved in any typical film production. Whether it's a student film, indie project, or blockbuster studio movie, these 5 phases are generally what entails the process in a film production. Firstly, there is the development phase, which generally involves the ideation, concept development, and sometimes funding acquisition as well. Now, most people commonly misinterpret these actions for pre-production, which I can see why, but the reason why this merits a whole phase on its own is because it is during the development phase that you find the story rights, and your basic preliminary funding, if possible, to then proceed to start gathering the resources in pre-production. This phase also involves pitching to studios, and once the pitch is approved and financial resources are secured, that's when a production officially gets the green light to then spend more money to enter pre-production. In pre-production, plans and resources are made and secured to bring all those documents, contracts, and legal signed in the previous phase to life. This generally includes involving more people in the production, drawing up schedules, and budgeting. Physical assets such as costumes, props, equipment, and so on are also prepared during this phase. See it as a necessary phase of gathering and hoarding resources in anticipation for the next phase of work to be done, where the team will actually get to apply and use these resources prepared and made in pre-production. Moving along to production, this is where, I'm assuming, most of you see movie making as being involved on a set, right? Unless you're actually like me and enjoy sitting behind a computer screen, this is the phase where the actual camera gets rolling and shots get taken, which will eventually translate to what you see on the screen. This is usually the most intense and action-oriented phase, since tensions might run high when everyone is running around on set. This is also where all those preparations in pre-production pay off, as your props, makeup, equipment, set decorations are all ready and lined up to have their candid moment on camera. Or maybe not. After all that jazz, of course, we have post-production, which basically involves getting rid of almost half of your captured footage, if the team messed up on set, or simply cutting, editing, and rearranging the shots captured with little wastage of clips, if the team was efficient. This is also the phase where digital effects and film coloring occurs. And of course, let's not forget the sound mixing and music being laid over against the locked cut of the movie sequence. Once the final cut is approved, the film is then sent to print, which is basically a term where any digitally processed sequences are translated into film print or vice versa, depending on the production and the producers. The distribution phase then involves the, well, literal distribution and duplication of these prints to movie theaters and other theatrical platforms. Of course, distribution is nothing without promotion as well. So generally this phase also involves your favorite actors and directors doing press interviews, showing up at film festivals, and random talk shows to generate attention. And that's it, all 5 phases. Knowing you guys, since I was at your position at some point, I'm already assuming that you generally intend to get a job in 3 of the phases. We're going to go into greater details in those 3 phases when we come back in our next lesson.